Good morning to all. It's my immense pleasure welcome you, Dr. N.R. Shankar, Professor Ali Muhammad Salik College of Engineering, Chennai, for third day of Atal-sponsored one-week faculty development program and PSR Engineering College, Vakasi. Welcome you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. N.R. Shankar completed his BE degree in the year of 1998 in Saptagiri College of Engineering, Madras University, Chennai, and MTech in Remote Sensing, College of Engineering, Anna University, and he has completed his PhD degree in the year of 2013 in College of Engineering, Anna University, Chennai. He is a highly self-motivated PhD candidate with research experience in signal and image processing, biomedical signal processing, near infrared signal processing, satellite image processing, and radar signal processing. He is specialized in technical writing tools like Mendeley, FreeMind, XMind, RedCube, WordWeb, SlickWrite, Lingo, WordCat tools. He has more than 22 years of teaching experience in various engineering colleges. I invite Dr. N.R. Shankar sir to share his research ideas in the field of GMR sensor-based disease identification. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Is it audible?
Yes, sir. It's audible, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. And today we are going to see something about GMR sensors. And of course, I'm just opening my PPT. And before the session to be started, I just say sorry to all the participants. I made you to wait for a few seconds because I had some power issues and power problem, power cut. I manage my power now. And the thing is that today's class we are going to see something about not with the PPT and not with the any sort of discussions. It will be a real-time experience sharing session. Of course, this session, the sensor technology is for people who would have attended many topics about sensors, but the very important sensors is that GMR sensors and AMR sensors, you have a lot of things to be done. And of course, area where Spintronics is playing a very vital role, and we are going to see something about your sensor technology. Actually, how we have done this sensor technology? What is the reason we have given this topic sensor technology? Is that when you talk about sensor technology, people would have seen about various sensors. For example, previously we had mechanical sensors, we had MEMS based sensors, and slowly the sensor technology now moving to nano sensors. Now it is going for photonic sensors. This is the latest thing now we are doing with the photonic sensors. Of course, the thing is that the leading technology in sensors are your photonic sensors and then nano sensors, because the flexibility, the size plays a very vital role. Of course, when you take any other sensor, the size is the bigger, and the sensitivity is also more when you go for nano sensors, photonic sensors, and spintronic sensors. Of course, GMR comes under the class of spintronic sensors. See, I can give a very basic idea about
Excuse
this.
me, sir.
Yes.
Sorry
Yes.
for the interference. Sir, can you able to on with video, sir?
Yeah, I'll
It's
just.
possible.
Yeah,
Your wish only, sir.
yeah. No problem. I'll make it, and I need how to share this because I'm new to this.
Okay, sir.
Can you help me how to share the screen?
Sir, you can share now, sir.
One second. Where is you have to give. I'll just share. I'll just share the screen. Yes.
Sorry, you can share. In the bottom of the
Yeah,
screen,
I cannot able to enable this. That is what the reason I'm asking. I know that there is a option called mute, start video, and share. I'm just clicking the share, but it's not
now
sharing.
you can. So now
You
you
have to
can.
give permission, I suppose.
You are the co-host now, sir. So you can share screen.
Okay, okay. Okay. Now only it is reflecting co-host. 1 second. Can you able to see my screen?
Okay, sir. It's accessible.
Okay.
The batsmans.
See now we are going to see something. I think you can able to see my presentation.
Yes, sir.
Oh, magnetic
You can
sensor.
proceed now, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So now we are going to see something about magnetic sensors and logic gates. Okay. And what magnetic sensor is? It comes under spintronic sensor, and you know that the magnetic sensor is entirely different. So this is the very basic definition for conventional sensing and magnetic sensing. See, any sensors, okay, it takes the pressure, it takes the strain, light, or something like that, and you have your voltage or current, and then it has been buffered and then giving out. Whereas you can able to see here the second version of your GMR sensor, okay, direction, presence, rotation, current, angle, and the sensors and signal processing. Okay, so this is how the basic output. Now this is what the your GMR sensor is trying to do. See, where we can use this GMR sensor, wherever you have your electromagnetic applications. If you have your electrical applications, for example, if you take blood, the blood is having some voltage, you know, there is a conductive property. Wherever you have your conductive property, you can use this sensor. Say, I'm not going to talk much about this PPT. It will be a class where I'm going to share my experience. Okay, what I did with this sensor, how was the result I was obtaining, and how we can extend for other field of areas. Okay, see, the magnetic field sensors which are in the market, you know, there are Hall effect based sensors, maybe in a form of toroidal sensor, maybe in a form of IC. But these sensors, you cannot able to sense your low level of magnetic intensity. Okay, that is a very beautiful thing with the GMR sensor. Now I can use this and a very, very important thing is that the distance. See, when you go for magnetic field sensor, the distance between the object and then your the sensing element, an object or a sensing element, you know, the distance can be more than 5 centimeter, more than 6 centimeter, even you can make more than 1 meter. Okay, there are some sensors I can able to sense the magnetic radiation of an object. If the objects can able to radiate for 1 meter, I can able to pick it up. It depends upon the object's radiation. It's not the sensor's ability. Whereas if you take your other sensors, it should be very close to the object. Otherwise, you cannot able to sense. Now, what we did with this sensor, how we got an experience with this sensor, and when you talk about this sensor, I want to talk about the real experience which we faced. Okay, and I'll just show you. So for what we did on the sensors. So this is the very basic, what I can say, uh, article which we published in Sensor Technology of IEEE Journal, IEEE Sensor Journal, and I'll show the article and I'll show the figure how we experience this. So this is a live example, and we are very much interested to share this type of experiences and researches what we did, and we are going to motivate your thoughts in the other platform. That is what the reason we are trying to give this. It's not that to say that we have done like this. Okay, it is only to give an to evoke or to make you to think in a different way. Okay, if this has been done, I can able to do in other way. I can give ideas also, very good research ideas, of course. And this is a paper which we published, okay, and we tied up with Savita Medical College, and we have done this what I can say, non-invasive method of glaucoma. See, I think in this paper you can able to see the blue diagram on the eye. We are much worried about this particular what I can say problem in glaucoma. Okay, glaucoma is a very big problem. Okay, glaucoma is a very big problem. Everybody knows that glaucoma is a very big problem, and people are aware about this glaucoma, and people knows about the glaucoma, but still now people are not getting an idea how to identify this glaucoma at the early stage. It's a very, I'll just save it on my desktop so that I can able to open it as a full scale. Now, what is that? What is that glaucoma is trying to do? The glaucoma is arising at the age of 30 to 40. That is a very problematic thing which people are not aware. A disease which is killing more people than the COVID. Than the COVID. I want to be very clear here. Than the COVID, but people are not aware about it because this glaucoma starts at the stage of 25, 30, or 40, something like that, and it goes at the age of 50, 60, and by the time people become blurred, and this is fastly going increasing. The rate of this disease is increasing like anything, and it is a genetic disease, and this will make every people to get blind after a few generations. You know that actually the lifetime of a human was more than 150 years. Actually 350 years according to the history, and according to the scientific it is more than 150, 180. Now it has come out to 70, 60, 50, 40, something like that. Now people are dying because of many diseases. Similar way, the high age, high performance. Now previously 70 years people were able to see very clearly. Now at 10 they are wearing the specs. So similar way, this will be a very big disease which is going to ruin every people. And they give a very big statistics that 10 in 1 will have this glaucoma, and it is not able to identify at the early stage. Of course, if you're able to do with early stage, you can able to identify it. Actually, we had a very big research on this area, and we went to Sridharam Eye Hospital. We are tied up with ethical committee, Sridharam Eye Hospital. I don't know how many people are aware about it. Ayurvedic Eye Hospital is there in Kerala. It is called Sridharam Eye Hospital. They have branches, and we went there and we found out this cannot be done at the early stage. Then we went for this particular problem. How the problem? Where is the problem? So you can able to see this one arrow is coming inside. There will be an aqueous or fluid that is called AH fluid. Okay. AH fluid will be blocked. This is a very big, very simple thing. If you go to doctor, they keep the meter, they keep their glucometer, and they check their high pressure, and they say that your pressure is low, and the very basic symbol is that the fluid is coming out from the, I think you can able to see very clearly. I'll zoom it also, and you can able to get it very clear view of this. See, there will be a tube-like structure where fluid is to go and come out. There are two types of glaucoma here. You can able to see here very clearly: closed angle glaucoma and open angle glaucoma. The fluid will be excessively generating, or fluid will be blocked both the way. Okay, there will be a channel. Now in that channel the fluid has to flow, then only you can able to see your blockage. You can see in this diagram closed angle and open angle. Okay, only because of the fluid stagnancy. Now what we did, and this symptom has, what is the problem is this, what is the problem with this this particular disease is that when you get glaucoma you'll get a head pain, and what we will do, we'll wear the lens and thinking that eye power has come down. Actually when you go have glaucoma, your eye power will come down, but that is the initial stage. But you cannot identify the headache is because of the power loss or because of the glaucoma fluid flow. And there's a very big problematic thing. Till today, you don't have any sort of solution for this, and we were concentrating how to get it, how we are going to get this. So what we did, accumulation of fluid was a very big problem. So we have taken this as a problem. And when a fluid is accumulated, very simple logic, when fluid is accumulated, there will be more magnetic field. If fluid is continuously flowing over the region, the magnetic radiation will be less. This is a very big basic concepts we have taken it, and we try to do this with the GMR. And what we did initially to check this, I think you can able to see your GMR sensor placed 1.5 centimeter above from the 2 syringe. Actually, we have been with the ethical board's clearance, and we have taken the GOAD's eye glaucoma. No, the glaucoma solution, AH solution. AH is the fluid which runs around the tube. No, and that running of fluids, to be, I think you can able to get it very clear. The fluid has to be sensed, because when you take eye, you have a lot of materials. And there is one more problem when you talk about the eye. Biomagnetism of eye is there. Biomagnetism of eye, body is having a biomagnetism. When we are doing this, we had a very big problem, whether it is actually from AH fluid magnetic radiation, or either from eyeball, or either from your body, or either from flesh, because each material in your body is a conducting element. It means that you have your blood flow, and even your the cells have oxygens, and your flesh has oxygen level. And keeping this, we had a very big doubt, oh, how to say this is a AH fluid magnetic signal, how to segregate it. We had a very big problem. So now what we did, because when I keep before eye for a non-enhancing measurement, because our topic was non-enhancing, and we want to measure the fluid magnetic field, because when you have glaucoma, the fluid will be accumulated at one place, so magnetic will be very high. If the fluid is running properly, then magnetic will be very less. Now I got this idea. Okay, now I can make my GMR sensor to get the signals up, and I can able to measure it. But when I keep before the eye, how do I say that particularly this signal is because of AH fluid which is moving, or which is stagnant, or because of the eyeball, or because of the pupil, or because of artery also can radiate magnetic fields. Okay, and it will be very confusing. I think you can able to understand very clearly. Arteries are the veins you can see in the eyeball, white eyeball region. Now it becomes a very big confusion. So what we did to solve this, we have taken the aqueous humor fluid from the goat eye, and we made it in a syringe. Okay, we made that ml more than 20 to 30 ml. We have joined 2 syringes. Okay, and in between the syringe, we were having the AH fluid of the goat. Now we started moving this syringe from this direction to push that direction, so fluid moves to this way. I think you can able to get it. When I press syringe 1, the fluid from syringe 1 aqueous humor will goes to the S2, and slowly it moves, and it goes in a very fast, and I can make as a stagnant of these fluids. Now I collected the signals and property of the signals, what is their movement, what is their behavior of the magnetic property of the such fluids, and of course the syringe, dielectric property of the syringe and your nerve are both are equal. So keeping that mind and both are equal, we made like this. And this was the key idea to get our idea to extract the particular behavior, that is the signal pattern of AH fluid. So we did it like this. Then we got this, and from this we are able to get the feasibility. Not that exactly what we are going to do, we will not get it. Of course, we'll have some idea. Aqueous humor radiation will be from from one level to this level. For example, the pattern, for example, if I say without in a magnetic field, I can say like this. If I keep the sensor, I think you can able to see this GMR sensor is placed above this fluid. If the fluid is there, my amplitude level was lying between, for example, 2 to 2.5. 2 to 2.5 is only the amplitude level of your AH fluid. Now we got this key. And of course, we didn't do like that. We have to check the frequency of the signal. We want to check the frequency of the AH fluid bandwidth, and you have to know how the shape, and you have to know the fluid, what I can say, flow rate, and you have to take every parameter, but just for understanding purpose. Because if I go and say this, I want to talk more about electromagnetic hydrodynamics and all those things. But simply speaking, okay. So I'm just giving an overall idea. Okay, now this is what we did it, and this is what the magnetic field radiation over the eye region. See, you can see these dots, and that dots will influence the object. So we was able to identify at which location, if I keep, what will be my maximum of AH fluids magnetic field I can observe. So we studied like this, and we made that 1.5 centimeter from the sensor, and especially below this, what I can say, I can able to see this eyeball, and if I keep this, I can able to get that AH fluid signals, magnetic property phase signal fluids. And now you can see this dynamically moving will have the peak when there is a block. The liquid will not stay there. It will also has its own pressure. It will try to push. Okay, and this is what we seen in this magnetic signal. Because when you think, you're not having any tight wall over the eyeball, though it is accumulated, the body will try to do its own what I can say, job to push the fluid. It is keep on pushing. When it keeps on pushing, you get a strain, and by that way you get an headache. This is how the headache forms. Okay, immediately when your eyeball is open, and if you put some medicines, of course, this is the online platform, I cannot talk about the medicine name, so I'm just giving a centralized idea about a medicine. Normal medicine which you take it for glaucoma, then automatically this pressure has been released, the fluid will try to move. This is how the glaucoma patient will do. The glaucoma patients will try to have your eye drops from morning and evening, so that there will be some sort of irritation and pressure over these channels, and then that will try to push the fluid out. Okay, this is what the permanent solution for AH if you are going beyond certain level. But what actually this glaucoma is trying to do is that you can identify with your small test also. You can move your eyes to the corner, and you see that how far you can able to see the object. Okay, corner of your left side, how much you can able to see, not the straight or the what I can say, an angle of 180 degree. I'm just talking about 180 degree. I think if I see straightly, it is about 90 degree. Think like this, and your eyeball is 90 degree. Then you make it at the corner of your eyes. I think if you can able to see this, you can keep at any corner, and try to see how clear you can able to see the object. Initially, the vision is blocked because the regions where we are not using. What do you mean by using? See, why you get your pain in your legs? Because you are not having an habit of walking, so it becomes rigid. So when you go to physiotherapy, what they are doing? They are trying to move it. Similar way, eyeballs are not being rotated in all the directions, and that is what we make it in yoga eye exercise. You move your eyeball in all the directions, because it's slowly see, it's very simple. I can make it in a very single line. If you are not using anything, it becomes damage. If you have one iron rod, or something like that, or I can make it something like that. If you are having any mechanical system, you just keep your bike. I'll make it like this. If you are not operating your bike, okay, that's it. Okay, it will damage. So what we'll do, we'll just keep yourself kickstart and run, and you do petrol engine, battery engine, whatever the engine may be. Similar way, a high ball you are using straight, and we are not looking at the corners. You have to give the practice for the corners. Okay, that is what. Here, this type of vision you can check. Everybody can check, or everybody can increase it by looking at the right side and left side. Okay, where normally where you see, and where you're not seeing, you can able to see this sideward. Sideward you will not see. If you practice that, it'll clear. It'll show more AH fluid regeneration, because we did it, and we did a lot of things. And of course, we tried and we did it a lot of expense in this, and when we are doing this GMR sensor based technology, when we are keeping the sensor before the eyes, people will get a fear. They'll keep on closing their eyes. Okay, frequently closing and opening of your eyelids. There will be some radiation fluctuations. It means that when you blow your air, this radiation will move out. Okay, that's a very simple logic, because it has low intensity, and it has low intensity, and you're not supposed to have this type of fluctuations. So that fluctuation, we identified it. Okay, so we were able to get some adjustment with the eye, and we made it 1.5 centimeter. If you keep very close, the people will try to close the lid, and it will have the variations in the magnetic field acquisition. See, this is how we identify. That is called saccade, eyeball movement. Sometimes there will be eyeball movement. When there is eyeball movement, how the magnetic field. So this is what the research we did it, and we identify with this very small sensor that you can able to identify this with the initial stage of fluid accumulation, and see how this GMR sensor was useful for acquiring the signals. So you can see the signal patterns here, and this was the thing we have taken, and we identified the level of fluids through machine learning. I think you can able to see this. Of course, I'm not much about. I'm not interested too much to say about this in normal eye and all those things. Anyway, but still, this is a very beautiful example. Okay. See, when we are working on this GMR sensors, we identified that one more a very big problem, that each body has its own biomagnetic radiation. Okay, it is called biomagnetism. I'll just show you. See, it's a blended type of learning, and the people who are watching, you cannot expect the PPTs. Of course, I'll be going to PPT because some diagrams it is not ready. This is the biomagnetism, okay, of a living organism. See, I'm taking your own body. I'm not talking about any other parameters. I didn't talk about machines. I didn't talk about transformers. I didn't talk about any, because everybody can able to get easily attracted when I say about your body and your biomagnetism. None other than a good example, you can identify it. Okay. You can see biomagnetism. You can see this type of background application. Biomagnetic theories are there, and biomagnetical therapies are there, and biomedical what I can say, biomedical diagnosis there, of course, but biomedical home diagnostic instruments are less. And this biomedical home diagnostic equipment, especially, we were able to identify that there is a one more problem. Okay, this GMR sensor can able to do this. You can do it at anywhere. That is what I'm just giving an example. I'm just making myself to give the participants, how we have proceeded. Then we'll come on to some other research topics, hot topics, so that you'll be very much interested to look into this sensor. Of course, when we did this particular research, this IEEE paper, actually the publication cost was high, because in IEEE you have to pay for publications, and only that was the very big cost. Of course, this sensors it cost around only 4,000 or 5,000. Within the 5,000, this particular research PhD candidate has completed his PhD, and within the nothing there than 5,000 he has spent towards this sensors. That's it. I'll tell you how to connect it also, because if I say orally sensor, you may not get idea how to proceed also. At the closing point of this session, you will be able to get a clear idea how to use the sensor, how to make it in your usage in the laboratory purpose, and all those things you can able to get it. Okay, the participants who are there in the live and listening to me, and it will be very useful for many publications. Okay. And without spending more money, keeping one sensor, they can do many experimentations. And it's on with their creativity. It's all with their creativity. See the biomagnetism. Then we found out one more problem is that biomagnetism is there now. We come to know that eyeball is having some magnetic power because the blood is going. Since the blood is going, you have your conductivity. When you have conductivity, when you have voltage, this basic rule is that you have the magnetic field around the conducting element. And when there is a flow of electrons, the electrons are your blood conducting fluids. Okay, so that is how we got this idea, and we identified that entire part is having these type of radiations. And then and that has been initially stage we have done it when we did it with the eyeball. So what we did, we want to identify one more very very interesting area is that that has been done for the Government College of Salem, and that was about fluctuating diabetes. Many people talks about diabetes. Many people talks about what I can say, measuring instruments. What is that? Pricking, taking instruments, and then 3 months reading, and then the other type of glucose test or something tests are there, but these tests are not in the form of continuous monitoring. What do you mean by continuous monitoring? If I take more of my if I take more of what I can say, if I take more of see, you go for glucose test, you just take glucose and you check how far the glucose is mixing with the body. Why it is not done in the regular food? Why I cannot identify this food is going to damage, or this food is not able to get a very good very good glucose, because bad glucose are there in the blood and you measure it. I think everybody knows about this. It's a basic thing, and I'm supposed to believe. And that fluctuating. No, you go to hospital, you take a glucose, and you check your blood level. Why you want to do it for glucose? Why not for other food? Okay, why not for some other thing? If I take 200 grams of mutton, no mutton, they say that mutton will have higher the glucose level. Okay, higher the glucose, higher the what I can say, rating in your glucose, your diabetes level will be increased. That is what I'm trying to say. How do you know that? Because according to the human body, try to be very very clear that each body is having its own individuality in defending and in mechanism. That is what talks about cell biology and molecular engineering. Molecular engineering, molecular imaging. If you go to molecular imaging, you can identify it. Of course, that is a very big topic. And cell engineering, many people think that cell means it is about biotechnology. It's not a biotechnology. Cell engineering is that when you go for molecular imaging, you can get a very beautiful idea, and that is one more part. And now here we are not going to that part. See, we identified that fluctuating diabetes is a very big problem. Nobody knows it. When actually the fluctuating diabetes are identified, when you are in the extreme stage of diabetes, for example, you cannot able to eat food, you get faint. Of course, this will come at the older age, normally 60s, 70s. You will not able to take food, and you will always in the giddiness. Okay, your diabetes will be fluctuating. And now what the doctors will do, normally they'll admit them in diabetic labs. They'll continuously monitor the patient, then they'll identify which is the shot for that particular person. See, a person has been kept in a bed, and he'll be monitored for the glucose for every 3 hours or 1 hours. And then they will say, they'll inject, and they'll put a trial and error, and they'll say, now you can make 10 shots. Year after, you make 10 shots. Sometimes if you're excess of your glucose, sometimes that also happens. After checking this continuous monitoring, they'll keep in the blood, and they'll have injection pumps, and then they'll do it. It's a very big process. Then they'll identify, and they'll say that year after you have to take 6 shots. See, the shots will be varied according to, sometimes you do exercise, so your glucose level come, but your intake of your glucose will be high, your tablet will be high, so they'll ask you to take it off a tablet or something like this happens. This is because the fluctuating diabetes. How to identify this fluctuating diabetes? It's a very big area. No tool is there. Of course, you take food, you cannot measure daily. You cannot do it. You cannot take the same food daily, and your stress is not the same level daily. How come you can do it? If when you go and see this in diabetes, They call it as white coat effect. If you go and see the doctor, by the time you get fear, your blood pressure, everything will go. At the same time, if you are doing, somebody is doing some yoga practice for 6 months, you do the yoga, make yourself calm, then you do it, reading will be changed. And this is what they call it as white coat effect. And that is what the reason, home diagnostic equipments are being given for diabetes. So you keep on measure it, okay, last month I got less. Okay, after 3 months you go to the lab and you measure, oh, last month I was very less. You make your mind very calm. Okay, last month 3 months diabetes level is very less, so I'll go after 3 months. Once you go to the lab and you measure it, so you will be very calm because you identified that my level is low. It's all depends upon your mind, it's low, then you go to the hospital, then you will not be in that much tense, so that white coat effect will be avoided. And that is what the reason they are giving home diagnostic equipments. That is that in your home itself you are checking your lab. If you go and meet the doctor, they won't do this. They'll go for the lab and they'll check it for many trial, and they'll go for coagulation methods, and some instruments are there for this, and they do it and they check it. That is a different way. But the technique which we use in home diagnosis is just to make yourself very clear that your variations or your blood level is under control, to make your mind, and so that you can control your food, so that you cannot come with high glucose level. If you think about more than 5 years before or 10 years before, if you don't have this type of home diagnostic equipment, what happens? 3 months once they'll go to the lab and they'll check the diabetic level, and doctor will say 3 months, your diabetes low or high, you take the tablet. Now what happens? You have your instrument, you can take weekly once, and you can control your food, and you can increase your diabetes, so that you will not go to the extreme level. That is what the reason. But that instrument is not trying to give the exact value of your glucose level. So this is a very important thing. Now, when you want to go for this, a very big problem, fluctuating diabetes, how it behaves. See the fluctuation, if you take a normal fever, if you go to doctor, you have the fluctuation. What you'll do, if your fever is high more than 110, it is not reducing, every 4 hours you take. And if the fever is that very low, and it is suppressing, it goes to 99, 6 hours once you take the tablet of paracetamol, something like that. And if your temperature is lying below 99, 99, 96, 90, sorry, 99.23, something like that, you will take 10 hours once. This is how you have to take. Otherwise, what happened? The paracetamol, there itself they would have given, if you take more without doctor advice, your liver will be damaged. Similar way, if you think about the pancreas, do you know what is the level now? Can you able to take the tablet? No. That is called the fluctuating diabetes. And if you know that this is the level of my diabetes, now I can take half a tablet. It's okay, because your level and the tablet level is equalized. How your fever and your tablet is equalized. You make 500 when the fever is less than 100, 500 mg of paracetamol. If your fever is more than 101, you take Dolo. This is how you equate it. That is what reason you have your thermometer at home, and you take your medicines according to this. And especially when you go for small children, this will be very applicable one. If you go to small children below 1 to 1 year, 2 years age, you just give the crocin. There also they'll be given every 6 hours, 4 hours. If the fever is more, you have to make it every 4 hours, and check the fever, then you give it. See, if you're not checking and if you are giving your medicine, it becomes adverse effect. So the fluctuating diabetes, if you know that today my diabetes is less, I should not take the tablet. If my diabetes is more, I can take tablet. So if that is the case, we can avoid more diseases. Okay, and that is how the technology has to be developed. That is a requirement for measuring the fluctuating diabetes. So we did this with. I'll just show you one more paper, pancreas. And this is one more paper. We did it for diabetes fluctuating with GMR sensor. And I think I want to download this also, so that I can able to show the image very clearly. You will get a very good idea about this. So what we did, we made our GMR sensor to fixed over the pancreas, and this is the work we did it. Okay, and I think you can able to get idea about when you see this. See, this is the pancreas. We kept the GMR sensors. So of course, for this we have met with the doctors and we identified where the liver organ. They touch and they feel these organs. They know where will be your liver, pancreas location. No, yeah, doctors with general surgeons. General surgeons knows this how to identify this particular organs physically by touching your body. That is what they'll ask you to lie down. They will ask you to take a deep breath and they will touch and they will see whether there is any swelling on the particular region or something like that. Now, by that time, we have been trained in this and we got trained with the people, the doctors, and then we identified the particular location and we kept the GMR sensor and we identified. Now, how we correlated this? How we correlated this? The correlation is that we were taking the blood with your home diagnostic equipment and then we kept the sensor. We are matching the data from the machine and the signals from the GMR sensor. Okay, and this is how we did it, and I think you can able to get it a very clear idea, and we were able to get it uh, signals correlated to the diabetics. We got a very beautiful result, and here also we had a very big problem whether the liver radiation is same or it is from the different organ. What we did, we have just gone to a goat your mutton shop and we have taken the liver of the particular goat, particular weight and height of the goat, because there is a standard for human size and the liver size. So according to that, height and weight should be there. We have taken the goat immediately when it has been cut, and that radiations has been checked, the signals. Okay, and we are able to get which frequency it is lying, so we are able to get it the human frequency also. And that was a very big change. When we have less diabetes level, the signal pattern was changing, and that was the proof. How can I say that it is because of the GMR signal? The single person, that has been done. And when he's starving, by the time diabetes level will be less, and he will be able to get a good idea. The signal variation will be less. By that way, we are able to get it very clearly. See, you can see this GMR technology, how it has been used. See here, the research can be. Now we'll go to the. I think I given two beautiful examples. Still, a lot of examples are there. If you keep on giving more examples, and it will not come to a conclusion, so that you can start your research. So, ultimate presentation here is that to make you to people start with a low cost of investment and do a very beautiful research. And when you do this research, there are two parts here. There are people in IIT, they are designing their GMR sensors. Of course, designing of GMR sensors, we need a lot of lab facilities, which is not available here. You can go for collaborative research. Of course, you can go for some collaborative researches. The collaborative research, I think, I think people are aware about collaborative research. You can join with some other people and you can do your research. You can join with IIT, you can join with the professor at any other institutions abroad, and you can join and you can do it for fabrication. The other thing, if you don't have any idea about it, no, you don't have any interest on getting about it, don't worry. We can do it by application side. Application side doesn't need anything. You don't need any sort of equipments. You can make your beautiful research. Okay, you can make a beautiful research which less than 5,000 rupees. Okay, and it's a long term investment. Okay, in a score area. Okay, and this is a very big thing. You can do a very beautiful thing. Only thing is that you want to have some ethical clearance, and only thing is that if you want to have your ethical clearance, you can, if at all you have any interesting topics to related anything with the biomedical activities, if you want ethical clearance, we can help you. Okay, of course, I think I'll just put it in my chat box. You can take my number, and you can even get from the organizing committee people also, and I'll just post it in the chat box, because I have more ethical clearance to be what I can say done, and I have a lot of hospitals connectivity, because I'm just saying, and you need to get it. I'll put it in the chat box. Okay, I'll put it in the chat box so that you can take my number, and if you want anything related to ethical committee, and we can able to get it very clear. Okay, so don't worry about it, and I posted, I supposed to believe, and this is my number, and you can just message me through WhatsApp. please don't try to call me. You can post a message, and you can ask any details, and we will try to answer you. And this is what I can do it now, because we are tied up with many hospitals. We can send you very clearly, because that will be a very big problem for you people when you try to start it. Okay. Now, when you talk about application part, before that application, anisotropic magnetic resistive sensor is one type of sensor. And of course, when you want to know about this magnetic GMR sensor, this is how the sensor fabrication. Okay, you can see these two different ferromagnetic materials sandwiched by a thin conductive layer. And then this is what the design. Okay, of course, this has been done by the physics people, and you can see these two different ferromagnetic material sandwiched, okay, by a thin conducting layer. I think you can able to see this sandwich, yellow color. Yellow color is that, two different ferromaterial. You can take two different materials. You can just take some different material. You can take a conducting tape, and you can lay this, and you can design it. Of course, this is a very simple task. And of course, it needs time to do this. You should know some fabrication techniques. I think you can make it in a very simple way. You just take two copper tapes. It's readily available in Amazon. Okay, and you just keep two in between the two copper conducting plates. You try to keep two different ferromaterials. Okay, and cover this two ferro materials. If you go to chemistry lab, they'll give a lot of ferromagnetic materials. You just take a tape. I think you can able to see this tape, copper tape. How many people have seen this? But copper tape is very less. You can get it in Amazon. Copper tape. You can design this. It's not a very big thing. It's not a very big thing. You can do. No, you don't need any sort of very big fabrication technique. You can see this is the copper tape. This is the Kapton tape. Actually, there is a copper tape. This is the copper tape. You can buy this copper tape. Okay, of course, the copper tape is very less. If you get it some other outside, what I can say, in other shops, it will be very less, 350 rupees or something like that. 3 mm, 5 mm copper tape. You can cut these copper tapes. Okay, two sheets. In between the two sheets of copper plate, you just keep two materials, and you do this connection this way, and that's it. You get a beautiful result. Already we have tried it, and we did it with some crystals, and we tried it. Of course, if you feel this is very tough, you can buy the GMR sensors, and you can do for many applications. But actually, what is there in the GMR sensor? Only these things. Two layer of copper material. In between that, you have two different ferromagnetic materials. That's it. You can just make it a tape, and you can solder over the tape, and you can get your magnetic resistive sensors. Okay, and you can design yourself. You can, if at all you want to have this different ferromagnetic material, and you feel that you're not able to get it, and you can get it you can get it in any chemical companies like Merck is a very good company, and they give for free samples also. You can apply for the free samples of ferromagnetic materials, and based on nanomaterial, if you make nanomaterial, for example, if you take some what I can say, iron based some ferromaterials, and the other one is some other material with the iron combined, and you just mix it the powder. Okay, you just have a binder, and no need of binder when you use your copper tape, because copper tape one side you will have a binder, conductive binder. So you can just I think you can able to get it what I'm trying to say. If you listen continuously, you can able to get it. And when you have a spray on this particular layer, then you then pack it off like a sandwich, like two breads below jam. Similar way, instead of jam, you use your different ferromagnetic material. Above that, you keep two copper plates, and you can get a signals. This is how the basic sensor design. You don't need any sort of simulation. You don't need any sort of programming language to be done to do some research in this particular parts. Now, this is how about this sensor. And next thing is that I'm just going to teach you. See, this is the way you have to make your material. Okay, And this is a very beautiful way to make your material. It's a very simple material, and you can use your GMR based gates too. You can design your GMR based gates. Of course, that is coming under the quantum computing. That comes under the quantum computing. Because electrical energy based zeros and ones are your what I can say traditional way of logic gates. Of course, if you want to do something with what I can say quantum gates, you call it as quantum gates. Quantum is that magnetic field gates. Now, when you want to do something with quantum gates, of course, this is a different logic gates. You can see this how to design the logic gate. You can design your small logic gates. I don't think that when you want to do something with sensor technology, it's a very big thing. It's not a very big thing. You can see this how they are doing. See, you can keep this and you can make your tunnel. You can design your own devices. You can make a own devices. Don't think that the fabrication you need a very big machine or layer. You want to go to any designing labs or something like that. It is not necessary at all. You can do it by yourself. Of course, we were able to do something with I think we have designed transistors and nano fit. There are a lot of nanomaterial based transistors, FETs and all. We designed in our own lab. I think if you have a small oven and if you have a rod, that is enough. That is enough to develop your sensors. This sensor technology, people think that it needs a lot of instruments. No, of course, that is for professional product development. Okay, this is how we are just checking the feasibility and measuring this. Fine tuning of a product, it will be an everlasting situation, but feasibility is ever research work. Not that the sensor to be well defined. So this is how you can design your own magnetic tunnel junctions, and you can make like this. You can, I think you can able to get it your logic gates. Okay, before going to this logic gates, you just do this. This is enough. Just take a magnet tape, have a magnetic material, you can connect it. So for how now you are saying about connection, connectivity, and all those things. How to do this? Now you have shown this GMR sensor, and actually the GMR sensor you can get it at the low cost from NVE Electronics. NVE DMR. See, this is the website. You can get it. This is the website. You can get it. Of course, and if at all you cannot able to import, and you can get it from Indian supplier. There is an Indian supplier. You can go to this website. You can see the Indian supplier. You can get the Indian supplier contact. You can get it. You can get it for biomedical. When you go on for GMR sensor, you want to use biomedical sensing because the radiation should not affect the body. So there is separate medical sensors. You can see here. I think I'm able to see this. This is where you can get it. See, this is what the free samples for. You can get a lot of free samples. See, you can see the data sheets. You can see this. You can see this nano digital sensor switches. If you go to these sites, you can able to get it very clearly. Okay, you can get a very good idea about this GMR medical sensors. Okay, and you cannot use your normal GMR sensors for your biomedical application. You have to buy your medical GMR sensors. Then only that sensors only can be used for developing this type of application. That is a very important thing. And I think so far I have given my own experience of identifying the GMR sensor, and GMR sensor can be applied in body, and GMR sensors can be used for different application. How we face the problem, I think I have shared it so that you will get a very good idea. And one more thing is that how to fabricate. I have given a small idea, how to do this. I'll just take. I'll just explain with the diagram if at all you're not able to understand because I'm trying to say. I'll just take the marker and I'll just let you know. Please wait. Can you help me coordinators? Is it audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Is audible.
because all are very quiet, and please wait. I'll just draw the diagram.
Okay.
I think you can able to see this whiteboard. See, you have a tape.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have a copper tape. You have a copper tape. Okay, cut this tape. Okay, cut this tape. Now, in between this, there will be binding element. The gum will be there because it's a tape. So, what is the problem here? This, when you do it independently, you should know what is the binding material, conductive binding material. Of course, this is a very tedious job when you want to start with the earlier stage. So, you cut the two tapes. Now, you add some chemicals, ferrochemicals here. Just put the powder, spray the powder. Okay. Now, at the next step, what you'll do, just close this. This should come down, and you have the powder, so it becomes the layer. So when you look this, you'll have this. Below this, you'll have, when you look this in a form of top view, you'll have the copper tape. You'll have the materials in between the copper tape. I think you made it. You made it. Now this is the, now since it is a copper tape, you can just solder it here at the top and at the below. You can do it this in the corner. Okay, corner. Now you keep some magnetic radiation, you can able to see the changes. Or otherwise, if you want to check what is the property behaving here, you can take one more lead here and you can keep this as a one more element. Okay, then you can do it. So it's a very simple thing. Similar way you can do anything. You can do wrapping also, you can do by your hands, and you can get it very clear. And now I'll just clear this. Now, I think you got how to do the fabrication. I've given a small overall idea. Of course, you need some things to be done for perfection also. When you keep your copper tape, okay, your materials are here. So when your materials are not uniform, there will be a problem. So you go to chemistry lab, you will get a glass rod. You just give a press, how you make chapati, similar way you keep your copper tape. Above that you put a chemical, you just roll this rod so that uniformly it is distributed. And then if you want to have the uniform distributions to be done, you can just keep it in the oven. And of course, keeping in a oven, you will get a very good result for when you take your output. And what is the problem here? When you keep the oven, you should know the chemical property of this particular chemicals, at what temperature they will be evaporating, what the temperature will affect, and that needs a lot of information about the chemical. Of course, this is done for uniformity of what I can say, uniform distribution of the chemicals, ferrometrical chemical over the layers. That is what we are expecting here. You can do it by hand. Of course, what we did recently, we did opal array sensor in similar pattern. Of course, we didn't do anything. We made two copper plates and we kept the crystals. Okay, then we kept the copper, then we did it in the same way. Okay, we got a good results. Of course, that is a very basic, what I can say, photonic crystal design. Okay, and it's not a very big thing to think beyond. Okay, it's a very simple thing, and I think everybody can do it. And sir, what you're saying, can I accept? Can you show reference? Yes, you can just go and see the websites, DIY of ferromantic material design structures. You'll get a lot of structures. You get a lot of structures. So this is how you can fabricate. Now I have shown you some applications, what we experienced. Second part, we were able to explain you how to do it in a fabrication. I think you can able to get it. Now the very important part is that how to take the connectivity, how to take the voltage out, how to do this with a low cost equipment, how to do this. One more thing is really important, for everybody, how to do this. See, if you take a GMR sensor, if you take GMR sensor, okay, and you'll have plus 5 volt, minus 5 volt, you can give it from the battery. Okay, now I am going to teach you how to acquire the signals without the data acquisition. Okay, now you'll have one thing is that your output here, your output will be there. Output means you'll get some output if there is any magnetic radiation. If there is any magnetic radiation, there will be output. How to connect this? How to acquire the signal? How to get the signal into MATLAB? or how to take the signal for analysis. So normally what we do, we want to hear the very big mistake. What we do, we just connect your CRO. CRO cannot able to sense it. You want to design an amplifier, that is a very big problem. Okay, how to amplify this? How to make this? If you want to design an instrumentation amplifier, it's a very tedious, by keeping IC of amplifier 3-stage, 4-stage. It's a very big thing. You want to have your gain and all those things. So for this, what you have to do is that you have to buy AD620 IC. It's a ready-made AD620. They are not going to do many things for this circuit design. AD620 built-in instrumentation amplifier. You just give input output voltage. That's it. I'll show it. Then you can able to get it very clear. I'll just show it once again. AD620. AD. Nowadays, like Python. If at all you're a computer science engineer, previously we used to write more coding, lengthy. Now you have library files. That is what the Python is doing. Scripting has come out already. Back and many people have written. Why you want to write from the scratch? Similar way, nowadays you don't have anything to be developed. For example, instrumentation amplifier 3-stage. Op-amp has to be put it in a 3-stage, then give the circuit soldering. Oh, you directly get the direct piece. Directly you can get it. This is how your AD620 ICs. If you go to the data sheets, you better go to the data sheet. Don't go to the third-party ICs. You can buy it directly from them. So you can see this. It's a low-cost instrumentation amplifier. So you can connect this AD620. You have only 2-3 pins. You have to give the power, and output can be connected there. And this is having a lot of features. I think if you go to the data sheets, you can get it. CMMR ratios you can control, and you can change your gain, and you can able to sense a very minute voltage. For example, more than if it is 0.1 millivolt, I can able to sense it. And that is the beauty of this particular IC. You can see it. You want to just give the power, you can take the output. Okay, I think you can able to see here one circuit will be given. You can connect it. See, this is a simple circuit. This is for gain. You don't worry about these things. Not even this. You just give power, then you give the input. That is enough. Okay. And you can see this is a simple circuit. This is a very simple circuit. You can able to see this. No need of more circuits. So this is how you take your ECG signals. Only 2-3 components. Now what you are trying to do here is that what you are trying to do here. You have your GMR sensor. You have GMR sensor. You know that 5 volt has to be given. Minus 5 volt. Okay. Then you will have an output. This has to be given to your AD620. 620. Then your signals are amplified. Then this amplified signal you can give it to your MATLAB. Now here one more MATLAB or LabVIEW. Here is a very big problem with the people when we do this. We face a problem. Sir, how we were able to do this? Very simple. How to do this with MATLAB? Or you can take one more software called SIGVIEW. You can take SIGVIEW. Okay, you can directly connect with the SIGVIEW. How to connect with the SIGVIEW? You know that stereo pins are available. Stereo pins. It's all only 10 rupees cost, and you can do it. Stereo pins. I think when I show the stereo pin, you know how to get it. So this is the stereo pen. I think you can get it in the shops. Okay. And I want to see that stereo pen. See, wait. I'll just show you. Of course, it is a molded one. Without molded, no, like this, you can have the tab to be removed. I'll just see whether it is available. Just make like this. See, the pin will be like this. This is the exact pin. Please wait. And in meantime, if you have any doubts, you can post it in the chat box. See, this is the stereo pin. Say now I'll just do this. It will be like this. Okay. Now one pin will be ground. Okay, one. I'll just show you this. Here, wait. See this. Okay, you can able to see these 3 pins. Okay. I think you can able to see this. You remove this cap, you'll get the 3 pins. Okay. See now. I'll just clean this. Now GMR plus 5 volt, 0 to 5 volt. Now your output pin, one pin will be there. I think you can able to get it. One pin will be the lead. Now this has to be connected to AD620. Then output pin will be there. Now you can, I think you have seen this stereo pin. Now if I draw the diagram, you'll be able to get it very clearly. Stereo pin. See here you can just connect one here and ground to be connected here. That's it. Ground can be connected. Okay. And this is the one input voltage, positive. Negative can be connected. The other one is output can be connected. Now you insert now you insert this pin in this sound card of your laptop. Sound card of your laptop. Now your sound card can be a free data acquisition toolbox, DAC board. Actually, when I give this to many researchers, they'll ask, sir, what's a dot wave file means sound? There is a very big problem with the people to understand this particular concept. It's not the sound, it's a format. It's a format. Okay, it's a format. It is in the wave format. That's it. Any signal you can put it in the text format also. It means that number also you can make it. You can make any signals in a form of numbers. Okay. At the same time, I can make it in the form of dot wave files. I can make it in the MP3 format also. It's only file formatting. It's not that when you say dot wave file, it's a sound file. That is a very big myth has been seen among the engineers. It's not the sound file. No, it's not the sound file. It's a wave file. It's a format. That's it. So you can take this wave file and you can get it in the lab view. So when you want to do like this, you have to get into this particular topic. Is that the topic is? I'll just show this topic once again. I'll just clear all those things. Now that is what sound card based uh, data acquisition station in lab view. Sound card based acquisition sound card based data acquisition. Lab view. See, there is a provision you can convert your normal sound card. Okay, you can make your normal sound card. See data acquisition through sound card. So what we are doing is given us a proof. Everything what I shared is only by implementing and experimenting. This is what we can able to get it. See, I want to measure an analog sound card. You can use your sound card. Okay, the sound card can be used. There is a procedure how to do this. You can do it in MATLAB also. You can acquire the signal. It depends upon your sound card. So now what you have to do, you have to go to your laptop. You have to understand what is your sound card spec data sheet. Then you can able to analyze what is the peak to peak frequency. I can able to get into it. Or otherwise, you can buy external sound cards. External sound cards with what I can say, low cost. Okay, if at all you want to have you can make it, you can call it as USB based sound cards, which is coming out with more beautiful 3D amplification. USB sound cards. USB based sound cards. You can buy this. You can see this 5-channel USB sound card for Raspberry Pi. You can use these channels. You can connect the pin here and you can able to acquire the signals. This is also a data acquisition. Or you can, if you feel that no, I never want to have the sound frequency, I want to have more than that frequency, because when you say the sound, it goes from 20 kilohertz to 20,000 kilowatts. If your frequency is in between that range, you can use this. If your frequency is less, because your body frequency is about 50 hertz, normally all will be lying with 100 and 150 kilohertz. That's it. Not hertz to kilohertz, few kilohertz. So I don't find anything beyond this card. And if at all you want to have more, your input is of a very low frequency, and you can go for USB DAC cards. It's a very DAC cards. It's a very less price. You can buy this DAC card. So I think you can able to see this image. Please wait. You get it for 4,000 rupees. You can buy this and you can make it. If at all you want to have a modules, you can get it as a module. They are low cost modules, very low cost. You can get it for even what I can say, few hundreds. See, very low cost device. Okay, very low cost device. If you break and see this, only the same thing will be there. It's a plug and play, USB based. You can directly connect. Same thing. So these are, you can take the signal, then thereafter, it's a very normal thing. You collect the signal and you can analyze for wavelet transform, or you can apply any sort of transformations for your applications. And this is how your GMR technology is working out. Okay, now, so far what we did, we have shared your experience, our experience in the working with GMR sensor. Then we spoke about the fabrication. Then we spoke how to connect and how to do this. Now, where to apply this? Some research ideas. Now, participants, I'll make the forum open. In which area you want to get the application, you can post it in the chat so that I can able to share my views on that area. I'll just go to the chat box. Please wait. I'm just closing it. Anything? Are there any particular dimensions which are required for the? Yes, dimension is also very important. If I want to catch a bigger fish, the size of the net should be the big. If we want to catch the small ship, because somebody has asked me a question, Dr. Ranjani, to everyone. I think they were asking some questions. The size is also very important. And the size is also very important based upon your coverage. That is what I can say. I can give a layman example. Is that you want to catch a fish? If a bigger size, your net size should be bigger. If a small fish, you want a small. So if I want to catch more radiation, I need the bigger size. If I want to catch a very small radiation, I can make it in a small size. Size is also very important. What the question was asked is also correct. Any questions are there from your end, so that I in your area, if you want any applications, because I have shown only medical. If at all you want some what I can say, sir, I need it from this area, for example, I need it from mechanical, I need it from mathematics, I need it from electronics, I can do it. See, because it's all, the session should be more interactive. Of course, I don't think so. You are not being allowed to communicate with me, I supposed to believe. And yes, you can do it. If you pack the, yes, you will get the result. No doubt. I have done it. I have done with Salem, I think, Government College, Crystal Growth Department. Yes. No, the thing what I have said from morning 10 o'clock, because I was bit late, not bit late, more late, and all my own experience. It's not that what I can say. It's a very I don't think that giving out these things will not what I can say spoil my knowledge. It's a knowledge sharing section. No, I have experience. I have seen it. That is what I have given it. Okay. If at all you want to prove this, I can prove it also, no doubt. And that is what I have given my number. You can just join in the number and you can do it. It's not a very big thing. And of course, any participants, you want in your area, I can give the example. That is what I'm asking. Whether the composition of material, whether yes, composition of the material also, we have to be very cautious. You cannot just do blunderly. I'm just giving an overall idea that you have to work it out. If I talk about that, it will go in a lengthy way. It goes to the material sciences. It goes to the material sciences. Okay. And our topic is only sensor fabrication and GMR sensor. That is what I'm talking. Now I'm asking the participants, okay, you can post your questions if you have any doubt. And if at all you won't have, if you want to have any application, you can give me an, you can ask me for application. That is what I'm waiting here. Any application in which area you want, I can give an application. What do you mean by application, sir? In electrical engineer, how to use, sir? If I want to use it somewhere in blood sensing, blood pressure, yes, we can do it. Now somebody, what you're trying to, I think coordinators, can you unmute the participants so that I can able to talk to them?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Possible? Is it possible?
Yes, sir.
I think it is possible. If anybody wants to ask a question, because somebody has posted me in see the session, see this is a live
Sir,
what I can say,
I
it's a
done it,
live
sir.
session. Yeah. Who was I think Dr. Ranjani, it is reflecting me there, Dr. Ranjani, correct? What you're trying to say, are you there in the line? I think
Yes, sir.
somebody is writing. Kalpana Murugan. Yes, I know who is speaking right now.
Renuka Devi, sir.
Renuka Devi. Yes,
Sir.
tell me. You only posted the question about the blood sensing, correct?
No, sir. No, sir. Not myself. One of the participants. Yes,
Okay.
Renuka Devi.
Uh,
Myself organizer, one of the organizer.
oh,
Posted question by
sorry.
one participants.
Okay, anyway, I'll just go here for the, because I thought that she's on the line.
Yes, Renuka Devi, sir.
Yeah, can you, I think a lot of participants are there. I think you can allow them to unmute also, so that it will be interactive session. And it's up to you whether it is
Attendees can
possible.
unmute themselves now, sir.
Yeah, you can raise. Dr. Ranjani, you are posted something. You can raise your
Hello,
hand
good
so
morning,
that they
sir.
can unmute you. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. I
I am Rajini, sir. I am Rajini.
Rajini.
Actually, I was working on a
Hello.
sensor, sir. Pressure sensing
Okay.
for biomedical applications.
Oh.
So just I was just that's why asking you whether that GMR is also.
Yeah, it is a
get
very,
the pressure because
very beautiful topic where you are working. See, computational fluid dynamics is a very important area. See, I have a blood vessel. If I inject of a chemical, when there is a diffusion between my chemical and then the blood, there will be some sort of pressure developed. Could you able to understand? And that blood will
Even that it
infuse
is able to do it, sir.
it's a contact. It's a non-contact. You can just
Okay.
keep over the nerve which are, see, you think that I'll just show you. I just closed my whiteboard. I don't know how to use this whiteboard here. Okay, anyway, I want to learn this WebEx because I never use this WebEx because it consumes more data, because I am a regular online teaching person and I take classes for all over the world, Cumbersome universities and Startlet universities, and so I use Zoom. But
Yes.
this is very time consuming. I don't have practice of using this. Anyway, I'll try
No,
to
sir,
explain
it's
through words.
Sir, more than 100 participants, sir. It's nearly 150.
Okay, I'll make it
Google
like
Meet
this.
lessons
See,
we can allow only 100,
no,
sir.
I don't know how
It's
to use the
WebEx,
whiteboard.
more than 100
No,
participants we are using this, sir.
no, I'm not blaming you, but the thing
It's
is,
licensed
we had
version
an
for our
experience.
college, sir.
No,
Okay, sir.
we are experiencing this with the people when we go for this. So I don't use this. So I'm used with Zoom. And can you teach me how to use this share? I should get this whiteboard. Is it so?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. Anyway, I'll just Rajini, I'll give this simple example. See, you take
Yes, sir.
one you take one nerve. Okay, you just
Yes.
keep your injection. Before that injection, you just keep your, because when you inject, it will go to the forward direction, and you keep the sensor over that region, above the injection,
Okay.
because when you
Okay.
press the fluid, it will go in the forward direction. So you
Okay.
keep the sensor in the nerve, you can see the magnetic variation. This is called as
Okay. Okay.
computational fluid dynamics. When a blood
Okay,
is
sir.
one type of fluid and your chemical which you are injecting as medicine is going to diffuse, by the time what is the pressure acquiring there and what is the blood reactions, you can study about. That's a very beautiful area. You can we can put a lot of n number of papers.
Thank
You
you,
know
sir.
that some doctors, why you put your injection on your backside, why you are putting in the shoulder, some injection, no, you should put it here, you will get pain. Why this why this has been happening? Some injection has to be done in the vein. See that
Yes.
we never talk about it. Why you never raise a question to the doctor why this is happening? Because all these things, there should be some pressure to be withstanded by that particular organ region, and that is also
Yes.
one reason for making this. You can work it out on computational fluid dynamics. This is called mathematically computational fluid dynamics. Okay, and
Yes.
in that
Even in the bone joints, actually, we were working, sir. Bone joint.
yeah, you can do in bone joint also. You can do in bone joints
There
also.
Yes.
Yeah, you will get it. You will get it without pressure. You cannot get. When you give the pressure, the blood flow of that particular region. Of course, bone doesn't have any sort of. If you keep a bone, there will be magnetic property for the bone, but bone is having magnetic because it's a conducting element. Okay, bone is also having some sort of magnetic field, no doubt. But if you want to measure that, if I take a 1 kg of bag and then if you keep my sensor on my bone, you can see the radiations. Very beautiful radiations. You can see it. You are from which college?
I am from RNSIT, sir, Bangalore.
Oh, very good.
RNS Institute.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you. Anything is there? Any applications you need? Is a very beautiful application they are working out. Anything to be done? Any examples?
Dear
Of course, these
participants,
things.
you can unmute your mic and if you want to ask the question.
Any questions to be done? Anything to be done? No, I'm just asking any example. That's it. I'm not asking anything. Any examples?
Sorry.
Which area you want? You want any example? Because if you are doing research or if you want to go for funding in that area, you will get it very easily, because this is the area you are not able to we are not able to see more publications.
Sir,
Kindly share that.
Sir, good morning. I have one question.
You are from which college?
Sir, same RNS college. Just now, my madam, she is my supervisor. She spoke to you about all that blood pressure sensing. Sir, I just wanted to know, since we are using this magnetic sensor, it's producing
Hmm.
some amount of radiation. That they
Yes.
doesn't harm the good cells.
No, it will not harm the good cells. You are not giving the input of the radiation. You are picking the radiation.
Okay, so there is
You
no
see,
process of back reflection, so
no,
that they
nothing like that. Nothing like that. See, you are just observing the radiation. GMR sensor observes the radiation. That's it.
okay,
You are not giving the radiation input.
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, it works as a passive sensor, not an active sensor. Active sensor
Okay,
will generate its radiation, then doing that is different. It is only
okay, sir.
observing the sensors.
Thank you,
Very
sir.
beautiful research. I think both are sitting in the same line.
Yes,
I
yes,
think
we were
you are
listening.
lucky. You are lucky to get such a supervisor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then what about? Yeah, I'm just asking any examples you want, because I think we did it more experiments. When you ask only, I can able to say, because I'm not a person taking notes from the internet and then posting it here or teaching here or presenting here. I'm the person, I'm working with the lab. If at all I don't know, I'll just go there and I'll work and I'll come back. That is the nature I have, and
Okay.
not like taking the source from the material from the internet and putting in a PPT. No, it's not like that. So you can ask, because I did it lot. I don't remember also, because I'm using this GMR for last 5 years. Last 5 years I am using it, but still I have made it a recent publications, recent 2021. And if you want anything beyond that, for example, mechanical engineering or something like that, I can make it. So that is what I'm expecting your interest. I think
Sure, sir.
anybody
Sure,
participate.
sir. We got a lot of
Anybody?
idea. In fact, we'll come back to you offline, maybe.
Yeah, you can take my number. You can come. I am an academic writer. I am doing academic writing also. I teach free of course of academic writing also, and high
Okay.
impact factor journals. And I am also doing, because I am the consultant for Coleman Research Company for GMR sensor. After my publication in IEEE, I am become the consultant for an American company. The research is not only for the paper publication. The research is that beyond that we can do many things. If at all
Yes,
you
sir.
want, you can post a message in the WhatsApp. We'll do it. Okay.
No, sir. Your
Okay.
ideas are really, really too good. We'll come back to you, sir. Thank
Okay.
you,
Any
sir.
other
Yeah.
participants who
Sure,
wants
sir.
have
I was
any
getting,
idea?
sir, electromagnetic interference in some labs and all. I think we can test that also using these sensors.
See, here the thing is that, if you take a toroidal sensor, Hall effect sensor, it will pick from all the areas.
Mm.
But this GMR needs the angle and
Okay.
distance. That is a very important thing.
Yes, sir.
See, if you take Hall effect sensor, it will acquire the radiation from 360 degree. But
Mm.
GMR will with the angle.
Okay.
It can able to sense only 0 to 90 degree. Only in that angle it will pick it. The other angle it will not pick it. And
Okay.
that is a very
Then you have to
important
use
thing.
multiple sensors, sir, in all directions, and we can.
But you have to select the sensor. You have to select a sensors,
Particular sensor.
which sensor, and what is the radiation of the property. It's not like just like that you just keep it and do it. You have to analyze the object radiation, then you have to do it. Okay,
Correct.
then you have to do it.
Thank
And that is what a very important thing. And any other doubts?
Yeah.
Anything to be discussed? Because I'm expecting more. I don't know. I don't know. No participants are trying to ask questions. Maybe the area is new. It will be the reason. Anyway, you can ask some questions. How to use in other things. See, you can use this in textile industry. I'll just give a layman example. The pattu sarees. You can check your pattu sarees with this magnetic radiation, because magnetic radiation, pattu needs silver or gold. Normally they'll say gold, fake pattu
Silver,
sarees.
sir.
Silver. Gold is also there. It's very costly. We are not doing it.
No,
But
copper,
of
sir.
course, nobody has done this. Nobody has done this. You can take a pattu saree and you can check what is the level of the silver on the region. This is one beautiful example. Any other questions? I think somebody has posted some questions. I'm supposed to believe. How it is related to healthcare? Already in NV you can see a lot of healthcares are there. I think you missed it. I'll just show you. Already they are using it. So you can see this. You can able to see this application included in reed switch replacement, hearing aids, pacemakers, and neurosimulators, drug pumps. You can see this already. Some examples are there, and of course you can use it at any level. No doubt. It's not that you want to use anything. You can use any level, but the thing is that you want to identify the problem properly, and you have to be very clear why you are doing this. That's a very important thing. Why you are doing this in biomedical? Why you are doing this? That's a very big question you have to understand. No, not just like that. What I can say. Uh, I want to keep GMR sensor on what I can say on the motor, and I want to do this sensor sensing. No, don't do like this. You identify the real problem. You identify this real problem. Okay, and this real problem should be not had been addressed. Nobody has looked. See, GMR sensor, you know that GMR sensor is there for glaucoma. You understand, there are some instruments, no doubt in that, but still GMR sensors, needs where nobody has addressed, and that should be a vital, what I can say, that should be a vital area where nobody has addressed. That is very important. Not that even I can keep the GMR sensor over the mobile and I can able to measure it. That will not become a research. That will not become a research. Try to understand. The research is there, uh, the research needs something different. What is that different? Is that, what I can say this, the requirement. Now nobody addressed, and that is what we need it. Not that I can keep the GMR sensor on my head and I can do it, or I can keep my GMR sensor on my what I can say on my fingers and I'll measure. Don't say like this. That is not the research. You identify which area we need, and nobody has looked in. As I said, right now, what I can say. The fluctuating diabetes. Nobody has spoken about the fluctuating diabetes. Now, when you talk about this fluctuating diabetes, that is very important. That is very important. Not that keeping the sensor at any point of the body, and I say that I have taken. You identify the problem, and that is very important. You have to identify the problem. I think you can get it very clearly. If really you are interested, people, if you are interested, you can join this WhatsApp group which I am posting here, and in this, and you can see a lot of information from my end. Every time I post, I have a very big group. Whenever I take these type of seminars, I create a group, and we do collaborative research. And of course, we are doing collaborative research with many universities and abroad countries also, because we'll share the knowledge. The purpose is only to share the knowledge, and whenever we post some what I can say videos about particular research ideas, and if at all you are interested, you can join the group which I created especially for today's sensor, GMR sensor. I think it's time up. I
Yes, sir.
think thank you for
Yes,
your
yes, sir.
thank you for your what I can say opportunity which you have given
Ah,
to me to present myself over this session.
okay,
And
sir.
I need some feedback. I
Conclude,
think a lot
sir.
of people are. Can you give any feedback here in the open chat? Anybody is there, so that I can improve myself?
No, sir. All of us told it's very informative session, sir.
Okay,
Sir,
okay. Just like that,
shall I?
if anybody want to chat, you can put it in the chat box. And if you want to have further information about the research which you are doing, you can join in that WhatsApp group, and you can get more information about my classes, which I give free of cost. And I do in the pattern drafting. I do international funding. We know how to take international funding, and phone consultancy, and a startup, how to make your research as a product, and how to make yourself flourish to show your society. And that can be taught as many sessions. If at all you are interested, you can share this WhatsApp link to your friends who are really interested in doing research. Not that, just like that, being in the group. So it should be an effective group, and we'll be regularly posting informations. Okay. Thank you very much. It's not that I'm going to share. We are going to share. We are going to share our knowledge. We are jointly. We are going to work. Of course, like this, we did some program for Pondicherry University. Now we are doing some collaborative research with Pondicherry University. I think I have did some programs from NIT Arunachal Pradesh. Now we are collaborating with NIT Arunachal Pradesh. So don't think that you are in a different area. No, it's not like that. Whenever the necessity comes, we all join, because only collaborative research fund is have been allotted nowadays, not for individuals. Okay. And because they believe this, when you go for collaborative, there will be some what I can say, standard in the research, quality in the research, not just real submitting the article or the documents to the department or government agencies who give the funds. Thank you very much. Thank you, professors. I
Sir,
think
shall we
tell me.
conclude the session, sir?
Yes, you can conclude. It's time up.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of our PSR management, heartful thanks to our beloved resource person, Dr. N.R. Shankar sir, Professor Ali Muhammad Sali College of Engineering, Chennai. Despite of his busy schedule, he found his valuable time to share his knowledge in the field of GMR sensor-based disease identification, especially in the diagnosis glaucoma. So in research, what are the problems? We well explained about what are the problems you were faced when identifying the glaucoma. So identification of the problems is one of the most important things in research. You gave very good information and very good ideas about identifying the problems like liquid flow and how we can identify the liquid flow in sensors, how we can identify the diseases based on the technical things. You gave so many ideas to write the research paper, sir. We once again thank you for your valuable contributions, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me this valuable opportunity. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I think I can sign off from this session. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for valuable technical sessions, sir.
Thank you.